Hello and welcome to the first ever episode of Spatial Awareness. I'm your host, Emperor, obviously. Who else would it be? And today I will be deconstructing Frontier. It is not necessarily a very competitive map by any means, and that's why I feel very safe deconstructing it. Because, take what I say with a grain of salt, honestly, anything can happen in TF2, and this is not a end-all, be-all strategy on how to beat this map. It is just what I have noticed over the years, and I will be parting my wisdom onto those who are just starting their TF2 careers. Here you can see blue spawn. Red spawn is farther north on this map, and red would come down through here. Now there's two important formations here. There's this little barn and this little cave formation. I'd say the more important of the two locations is the cave formation. It protects the red staircase, which opens up a flank farther north on the map, not shown here. Before we go any farther forward, there's something I need to tell you about the strategies behind this map. And there are 3 lanes, the top, middle, and bottom, or left flank, mid, and right flank, depending on which team you're on. If you're defending, make sure there's people in each one of these lanes. If you're attacking, you want to make sure that not everyone's on the cart, which would be 2. Not everyone's pushing through 1. Like, there's at least someone going to 3. You want to make sure, just take a step back and look at where everyone's stationed at, and just, kind of change the way you play the game from there. And this isn't always the case, but specific to this map, you might want to stay out of 2. I mean, there's no cover, and what I'm going to get to in a minute is if you spend a lot of time in the second lane, you're going to die really quickly, and that's where the fun comes in, because then you get a nice juicy 20-second respawn time, and no one likes that. No one. If you're attacking, so you're on blue team, pushing the cart is what you'd be doing on the second lane. And the reason why I said you probably don't want to be in the second lane is it's wide open for snipers. They can be anywhere in this red area, a sniper can be, but he's most likely here where I put his head. And again, why you don't want to be on the second lane is sniper has a clear view right into your guys' spawn. It is not a smart idea to attack down the second lane when the gates drop. Now, that's not always the case. Maybe there's no sniper. Maybe you're on second lane and a rocket kills you. Just second lane isn't the safest lane. Some people from 1 and 3 can attack you from the enemy team. So that's why it's safer to go on 1, because if you're in 1, you just have to worry about people in the first lane with you and people in the second. If you're in 3, you just have to worry about other enemies in 3 with you and people from second. But if you're in second, you're worrying about people in second lane, you're worrying about people in first lane, you're worrying about people in third lane, and it's just too much to handle, and you get flanked really easily and die. Bam, dead. 20-second respawn time, and no one wants that. All classes can be out here doing their job. Pyros can be burning you. WM1 soldiers can be shooting you with their shotguns or rocket launchers. Demo man shooting their pills. But the next biggest threat, especially when attacking, is engineers. In here I have showed where the NG nests usually are, and the heads represent where, if the enemy team has an NG, it's most likely where he's building. The red represents where he could be building. Possibility. The brighter it is, the more likely. The not as bright red, the more likely he's not building there. Couple this with sniper covering second lane, and you have a very strong defense. And then just throw in 6 more players, random classes, and that's going to be a hard nut to crack. Now, based on everything I just told you, this is what your attack should look like. No one on second. People attacking first and third lane. Now, in this scenario, we say the initial first 30 seconds, the third lane is defeated by the nest and any other reds defending it. Everyone successfully stays out of second lane, and the rest of the team is able to take out the lane 1 enginist and the backup enginist. And this opens up, allows the rest of blue team to essentially cut off, if you look here, cuts off the lane 3 enginist from basically the rest of his team. Now that Engie has a teleporter, so he will be important to take out. The wonderful thing about TF2 is that it has random crits, and that allows the tides of battle to be turned dramatically. I'm talking a single Crockett from a soldier takes out almost your entire team. This will change the tide of war. And it's this type of stuff, like an enemy spy that gets a chain stab on the cart. It's this kind of stuff that can change the flow of battle. Like in this scenario, I have blue winning, but you know it's a very high chance that blue will never leave spawn because his red team is just that successful, just that good, just that stacked. And this is just what you need to look for. Red needs to defend the cave and the barn. Blue needs to take those over before you can actually successfully push forward. And here the front lines have successfully been pushed forward. Blue is now spawn camping red, but what is this? What? Woohoo! No one was pushing the cart, and that is where the biggest downside to payload comes in. You can have a great team, you can be spawn camping, but if no one's pushing that cart, eventually you guys are going to get pushed back and the cart is going to have no progress. Where if somebody's been on the cart, they could have pushed it and capped first already. And this is where it comes in. Someone has to dedicate to pushing the cart. Sometimes it's sniper. If you play sniper, engineer on offense, or scout, not necessarily scout, but just take one for the team and just ride the cart. I know I said it was the most dangerous of all the lanes is to be in second, but as long as you're with the cart, you should be fine. Especially on Frontier because you got the big train blocking you from the snipers. But if you're just in second lane and without the train, you're going to be killed way too quickly. And when you're riding the train, watch lane 1 and 3 for being flanked by soldiers, NGs, demos, really anyone. Alright, I'm going to show you my favorite setup. Usually when I get on this map I play engineer, unless we have 5 engineers then I won't. But probably the most successful place to build is here. And if there's another NG on your team, for the love of God, do not build your sentries next to each other. If there's another NG, or if you're that other NG, build your sentry here where I put the other head. But only build here if the blue team has already taken over the barn in the cave, like if the front line is literally where my sentry is. This is roughly the area of which my sentry can see, and as you can again see, the map bottlenecks. It becomes a choke point, and that's why the sentry placement is very great. It stops the cart. It stops them from even getting to the cart once the cart or train gets to this position, and it's really hard for them to actually take it out. They need an Uber or just to constantly be spamming this area with stickies. But if you're on my team, it's a good idea for you to push the to take over the cave and the barn. It would really take a lot of pressure off my sentry and off the team if you're able to take these back. But do not, for the love of God, push up second lane, because they in turn will have a sniper probably dueling our sniper, and that is a big no-no because again, what I went over with attacking, you do not want to be in the second lane because it leaves you open on both your flanks. Alright, thank you all for watching. Let me know what you think of this in the comments. This is just an experiment. If you've made it all the way this far, let me know what you think, what you want me to change, what you want me to do. This is just one part of Frontier. I could do more if you guys wanted, or I could change it up and have some live action instead of just the strategy behind TF2 actually go in and try to show you. Again, this is a controlled environment. It's easier for me to explain things and what to look for what you should look for, is what I should say. But if you like this video, give it a like. if you know someone who's new to TF2, show them this video, help them understand what to look for. To stay to the sides of maps is the main thing, but yeah, this is just an experiment, so don't dislike it too much. This has been Emperor, so have a nice day.